Привет!
Bonjour!
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Morning Brew, Season 1, Episode 25 with Vienna Whyte, a YEG music production. We are your hosts. I'm Marissa.
I'm Minley! We're trying so hard.
You make that like clink.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There you go. Pretend like it happened.
Happy Friday. It's Friday.
It's Friday. Welcome.
Friday.
Friday.
And oh my gosh, it's May.
Oh
It's
yeah.
also May.
It's finally May.
I posted that yesterday on my personal Instagram. Like, roses are red, April is gray. When you can go back outside again, it's gonna be May.
Yeah, not even though it's a sad part.
I know, it's true.
I actually don't know what's going on, but I think it'll be a while yet.
I just mostly love the Justin Timberlake meme. Like, because
Right?
you don't even need like anything, you just have his
It's
picture.
his face.
Well, there's another one that I saw that had the similar thing where it was like, roses are red, April is gray, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then it just had a picture of ramen noodles. And it didn't have, and then someone commented like, the amount of knowledge you have to know
To know
to
this
understand this picture.
That's actually so true.
Like, it's insane. And I remember one year, for my friend's birthday, it was for Mallory's birthday. She does like a themed birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the years that we did, or I think it was the birthday, maybe it was just Halloween, I don't remember, but they have a lot of theme parties.
Yeah.
And one of the parties was the Britney Through the Years.
Yes.
So, I mean, you can guess there was like 4 of us who were, Baby One More Time. I was one of them. And I can't remember who it was. I can't remember if it was Derek or Brett or whoever, but somebody dressed up as Justin Timberlake. And they taped ramen noodles to their head.
What?
They took like a thing of ramen noodles and then put it on their head and then like stuck it to their head. It was so funny.
Oh my gosh. That is true.
They were like the jean jacket and the jean dress, Justin and
the
Brittany.
cowboy jean,
the Canadian tuxedo. Yeah.
That's great.
I thought it was amazing. I was like, that is the best costume I've ever seen in my life.
Awesome. Sometimes the costumes with the most minimal effort are like the best costumes. Like that you barely put anything into and you just like literally clearly tape on your head.
I love the really creative ones where they like reuse old objects to like try to make a costume.
Mm-hmm.
Like one year for Halloween, Sam, I don't know if you know Sam Brevins.
Yep.
So they had an anything but clothes party, and he had a laundry basket filled with clothes, and then he just like had it up by like suspenders that were attached to the laundry basket. This. Were you at that party?
I think I was.
Well, maybe you were. I can't remember what I wore to that party.
I feel like that would have been my first year Halloween party.
Probably. They all kind of blend together in my mind, to be honest.
Yeah, those parties were something.
I remember like there was at one point, I think it was at Kate's old place, where we had like one of the first year parties or whatever. And there was like 6 of us on one piano, just like playing, just like jamming in the basement. And there was like 6 people on one piano at one point. And then like the other guy was playing like the harmonica, someone else grabbed their guitar, and I was like, musicians at a party.
Yep. Yeah, nothing else to do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're at a party, but then everyone is like, here's Wonderwall.
Yeah. Or here's this Louis Armstrong song. That's
okay, guys, giant steps, everyone. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Every time, well, a few times I've had a party, like a birthday party or something like that, and I've had like a few musician friends over. They always gravitate towards my piano, and I'm like, no music will be played, just enjoy the time. Because every time it's like, it's kind of like, you know how when people, actually this will lead in perfectly, how people go to parties and they find the first dog they see and then they're like, this will be my friend for the entire night. That is that person, but that's what musicians are like when they don't know anybody, or they or they're bored, really, or they want to.
Yep. That is just what we do. And because we're all just very uncomfortable and we're awkward people. And so we're like, let's play music.
Yeah, you know what?
Um,
It's very rare that I actually enjoy myself at a house party. Unless I like very much know the people, it's very rare that I'll like be like, that was a great party. I had so much fun.
yeah, I enjoy house parties. Weirdly enough, I enjoy house parties that I host, even
Mm,
though I have to like clean up and stuff after.
interesting.
But like I guess it's because I have my dance group friends over a lot, and they're
Yeah.
like really great with helping out clean up
Oh,
afterwards.
that's good.
So
Yeah.
well, it's like because it's less of like, here, I'll help you out because I'm a good friend. It's more like, hey, you made this mess, clean it up, and they're like, yeah, okay.
You need that friend
But
though that will like be
yeah,
wasted and will be like, oh, time to clean.
oh yeah, 100%. I'm that friend where I'm
Yeah.
like, if everyone's partying downstairs, I will be upstairs cleaning, and
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Um,
Great.
but yeah, I am also that person who will find a dog or an animal at a party. If
Hmm.
they're like locked in someone's room, I'll like sneak off and I'll like knock on the door and be like, hello. And then
Yeah.
people are like, where's Marissa? And then I'm just like upstairs, like cuddling with the kitty. I'm
Like
like, oh,
face all
hi.
in it, like
And I'm like taking a string and I'm
yeah,
playing with it.
yeah. It's
So
the
that
worst though
actually,
when the dog or cat doesn't like you and you're like, you have to
oh,
try really hard.
it's so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But that actually perfectly leads us, as you said, into our
Yeah.
topic of the day, which is how to choose the dog for you.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess we could broaden this to like animals in general. I don't know if we're supposed to, but we could
Well,
talk about cats too and whatnot.
we could, yeah. I think it's a good topic. We can
Mm-hmm.
delve into a couple of ideas,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
um, so I guess I mean the first thing I guess I could bring up is our I guess our debut as a band
Yeah.
was when we released this Christmas album back
Oh
in
yes.
December, and we filmed a bunch of videos at Wharf Animal Rescue, which was the best day ever. It
Yeah.
was wonderful. I enjoyed every second of it. Like just walking in, and then like I forget her name, but she had that amazing accent, and she like
Oh yeah.
walks in
What
and
was her
she's
name?
like, here are the cats and here are the dogs and here, like, I don't remember what kind of
That
accent.
one's Band-Aid, that one's Peppa, that, and she knew all of these like
Oh, it was
cats names. And there was
amazing.
over like 70 of them. And I'm just like,
My favorite thing was when she opened the door and it was like cats, and I walked in and I was like, cat,
pick a
cat.
cat. You want a cat? Here's a cat. It's the best
uh
way to adopt an
and then
animal.
that like lovely little pine cone, or was it pine
Mm,
cone or was it Louis, where like I like he liked to be
so
held on his
cute.
back. There's
Yeah,
like
that was Louis.
if you find the video on YouTube, it's like me and a gray cat, and he's like in my arms and he's just like sitting there, and he just like he put his paw on my face at one point. I was like,
So cute. So
he got
cute.
adopted though, which is good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the nice thing to see about that place
yeah.
is to see
So
who actually gets adopted.
yeah, and if so, what I was gonna bring up was like I guess the place you could start would be
Mm-hmm.
with a rescue. I think that's probably the best idea to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because like I don't know how I feel about people going to buy pets and going to like, I
Yeah.
mean, I guess if like if your friend's dog accidentally had a bunch of babies and it's like, whoops,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
um, but I mean that's how we got Benji, which is really cool. Like my parents'
Oh,
dog.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then with Dexter, I think my brother just went to go to a similar situation where like a dog had a bunch of babies, and
Oh, okay.
it's such a cute story. I got to tell this story. So
Oh.
my brother, he was going to actually get this puppy as like a gift for his girlfriend at the time,
Mm-hmm.
because they were living together and all that, and so he went to this place, and all the puppies came to him except for one that was sitting
Mm.
in the corner. And
Yeah.
all the puppies were like super super social and to him, and then the smallest one was like in the corner, just like not really participating, and my brother was like, that's the one I need.
Yeah.
And that turned out to be Dexter,
Yep.
which is really cute. And they
That's
just,
so cute.
which is funny because like when you meet Dexter
I
now,
was just
he's
gonna
like the
say
most sociable dog. Like he
he's not
loves
like that.
everybody. No, he's a very sociable dog. And oh my
Yeah.
God, he was such a cute puppy. He was so
Yeah.
cute.
I wish I knew
He's
him as
still
a
cute.
puppy. Oh, yeah, he's
He's
still cute.
still very cute. But yeah, uh,
Yeah,
I really get happy when I think about him.
yeah, I actually had a very similar adoption story to that too. So I have two dogs. One's Maltese Shih Tzu, and she's a shit. And there's Marshall, who's a Brussels Yorkshire, and he's a cutie. So, yeah, so with Marshall, though, we went to this house. Okay, we drove an hour and a half out or something out of Edmonton. I don't even know where we went. I couldn't tell you what city or town it was. I have no clue. And we went to this lady's house, and she had like 20 dogs that were outside in these like line crates, like all separated together, which is like, this is odd. And then she had these like 4 massive dogs that were on the outside too. And then we went into the house to see the dogs, these little puppies, and there was about 30 dogs in this house. And we're like, okay. And there was like certain sections for like the pregnant puppies, and she showed us the puppies, and she showed us
The pregnant puppies.
yeah, there was like a whole separate room for pregnant, not puppies, pregnant dogs.
Okay, God.
They could have been I would be
Was she like,
surprised.
was she running a business, or did she just have a bunch of dogs?
So I think it was like a puppy mill.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so we didn't obviously know that. When you read this ad online, you just see this ad for a dog, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go get it. So, and this is the second dog we adopted, so our adoption processes were very different, like completely different. So when we actually went to go get Marshall, we were going to get a dog named like Traveler or something. Like he had a weird name, and we ended up not getting that dog because I think he was a little bit older, and there was another reason why we just like weren't as much of a fan. And then we really wanted this like pregnant poodle Shih Tzu that was so cute, but we were like, well, it's pregnant and it's 4 years old, so it's like I don't know if that's the best choice to have with another female dog. And then the same thing, we were looking at all these little alien looking type dogs. They're really gross. And then I saw Marshall under the table, and I was like, well, what about this guy? Because he was being all, you know how Marshall, when he sees strangers, he's like, if you know Marshall, you know when he does that, you know what he's doing. So that was a dog we ended up taking. And on the way home in the car, we had brought in Lily so she could see the other dogs too and like sniff out which one she wanted, kind of thing. But on the way home in the car, Marshall threw up.
Aww.
And he immediately had cherry eye pop out, and he had hernia, and he had ear mites. So we paid about $200 for this dog, but it ended up being $1,000 in the end when we paid all his vet bills. But he was about the same price as Lily if we hadn't had all these complications. But I remember sitting in the car, and I was calling Chris after I went to the vet, and I was like, this is what the vet just told me. This is how much everything's going to cost. We have to get this done. And he's like, well, why don't we take the dog back? And I just remember Marshall sitting in my lap being like, I can't take the dog back. He was investing me into this dog. I can't take it. I started crying. But if I had taken him back, it would have been the biggest regret. So I'm glad that I didn't, because he's such a freaking cutie.
Yeah, well, it also sounded like he wasn't in a very safe environment either. Like,
no. So what Chris actually ended up doing is he called somebody, maybe like animal control or something. And she basically said, the woman on the phone, she's like, yeah, so this obviously sounds like a puppy mill kind of deal. Obviously this woman's not like mentally stable, but because when we did end up calling her back being like, just so you know, all these dogs have ear mites because this dog has ear mites, so they're all going to have them because they're all in the same room, they're all in the same house. And she started screaming, and she said, bring my dog back, it's my dog, bring it back. Even though we bought it, it was completely ours by this point. She's like, no, bring it back.
Yikes.
Chris was like, I will never bring this dog back to you. But anyways, the woman on the phone said basically you can call like SPCA, but because the amount of dogs, they're almost worse off being at the SPCA, just because there's a lower chance they'll get adopted, just because there's like a surplus of them. So we ended up not like reporting or anything, but hopefully, I don't know, hopefully people like me came and adopted, you know, the animals, and now those animals are fine, but you never know. Like, I'm sure that lady is still,
man, and it's like, it's
doing her thing.
It sucks when you're in a situation like that, because it's like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, you could report this person, and then the dogs may never get adopted, or you cannot report this person and they might get adopted, but it's like they all are like, it's so hard, because what do you do? Like, what do you do in that situation? Like, man. Well, I'm happy that you guys got Marshall out of it, which is good, and you got it. You saved at least one, which is good.
Exactly. I would have taken more if I could, but yeah, it's interesting when you adopt a dog from a place like that, or in a dog that has like some issues, because they tend to carry a lot of trauma issues with them for a very long time. Like, I know Marshall didn't used to like to go on walks, and I think it's because he was in pain because of the hernia, but he would refuse to go on walks. And then now, 5 years later, this wasn't even 5 years later though, this was like a year later, he was like walking, he was like so excited, he like loves to chase rabbits. So it's just like, it takes a while for things to become like normal for them. So that's kind of a hard part about if you do choose to adopt from a place like that, because they'll be usually
Yeah.
pretty trauma
And
bound.
the other thing too is like I think you have to, if you're looking for a dog,
Mm-hmm.
if you have a specific breed in mind, then okay. But
Yeah.
honestly, like when it comes to dogs, I'm just like I love them all. I don't
Yeah.
discriminate. They're
Yeah.
all beautiful in my eyes.
I like
Um,
big boys, like
Itty
little
bitty
boys.
boys, Mississippi boys, inner city boys. I like pretty boys with a bow tie. Get your nails did, let it blow dry. Anyway,
Marshall really was an inner city dog.
Dexter was a big boy.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Oh, he
um,
still is.
or also like big beard, but
Yeah.
which is funny because Benji is an itty bitty boy, and he has a lot of like
Mm-hmm.
anxiety
Yeah,
things, but that's just because of his breed,
his brain.
and
Yeah.
if he doesn't get a lot of exercise, then he doesn't he gets a
Oh,
little bit
cooped up.
anxious, and yeah. So
Oh,
I mean,
interesting.
Benji loves walks, but he's
Yeah.
terrified of other dogs.
So it's hard. Yeah.
And then our other dog, Jasper, before he passed away, he was a Kerry Blue Terrier. Sweetest boy in the world. Oh my God, I miss him so much. He was such a sweet boy.
Yeah.
He's so big and clunky, and he barked at everything, but I loved him so much.
I
And he
know.
was like, he had these big old paws, and sometimes he would trip over them. It was so cute. I loved him a lot. And we got him as a puppy. He was like about this big when he was a puppy, and then he got to like he was a big dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm not entirely sure if that's the kind of dog my parents were looking for, because he looked a lot like my mom and dad's dog when I was younger.
Oh,
Her
okay.
name was Nichka. She was another like black, fluffy, curly hair dog. But anyway, what my point was, sorry, I'm thinking about dogs and getting distracted. I'd have to say, like, if you're thinking of a specific breed, then okay, I guess you can go try to find a specific breed, but I would say have more of an open mind.
Yeah.
And like, I would say
Because you'll be surprised.
yeah, and I'd say the first place you should go is like a rescue. Like that would be the best place to go. And you know, like I'm very much a fan of like giving older dogs a home.
Yeah.
For a little bit, and like even yes, puppies are adorable. Puppies are so cute, and I love them to death.
I know.
But the other thing too is I'm just like, this dog has been in here for like a long time, just like waiting to be loved.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart so much. And I just want to like, I'm one of those people where I'm like, I want the wall.
I know.
And I'm like sitting there crying because I can't make a decision.
Yeah. It's so hard.
It is so hard. And so I would say like the best place to start would be a shelter or a rescue, just to like find the dog that warms your heart and that you can kind of get along with. And I mean, and if you're up for the challenge, you could find a dog that's a little bit more like scared, that you could like foster and try to get it to trust you and stuff, and kind of save that dog a little bit. But I mean, obviously you have to be up to the task and you have to know what you're doing. And so like, I wouldn't say that would be your first option. But I think choosing a dog has all to do with personality and has all to do with like the connection that you feel. Because at the end of the day, you're choosing someone that is going to be a part of your family, because dogs are family
for a long time.
Yes, dog, and it's a like 10 to 15 year commitment, basically.
Which even if you think like, you know, I think some people at the beginning get kind of like I don't know what the right word is, but they like fantasize about this perfect dog, and then, you know, with the expectations of this perfect dog, and they don't realize like, no, this isn't just a 1 or 2 year thing. This is like the next 10, 15 years, like you said. So it's like, it's very important to consider lots of factors when you're adopting this dog, and you have to really take it seriously.
Well, and don't get a dog as a gift. Just don't. Just don't do it. Unless the other person has been like asking for a dog for a long time, and they like know what to do, and they're prepared, and they're like, I would love a dog. I just can't afford one or whatever.
Was that like your brother and his ex-girlfriend? Was that the case?
I think he just got her. I don't remember why he got her a dog. I think it was just like a, I think they both wanted it.
Okay.
And so like, because they were living together and stuff. So like they wanted a little pupper. So like when I say don't get a dog as a gift, I'm saying don't get it as something that you know the other person can't take care of. Like get it as a gift if it's a meaningful thing. If it's just like, here's a puppy, and it's like, oh my God, it's a puppy. It's not, that's not what I meant. Yeah, I meant like if you're going to get it as a gift, then you need to make sure that the other person knows how to take care of it. They understand the responsibility of it.
Yeah.
If your kid wants a puppy, get him a goldfish first.
Yeah.
Like, don't
Because
go
you're
straight
going to
away
end
to
up
the puppy.
taking care of it, and it's not going to be your kid taking
Exactly.
care of it.
Well,
It's going
and
to
the
be
other
you.
thing, yeah, like when I was a kid, I didn't really fully understand that dogs had autonomy, and like I didn't
Yeah.
like I loved dogs and I thought they were really cute and fluffy and I liked to pet them, but like I didn't fully understand the responsibilities of taking care of a dog.
Yep.
Um
Yeah.
so it was like, yeah, it was, yeah, you have to be very, very careful when you're doing that. And if you do get a dog, it is a commitment.
Yeah.
You do not abandon it by the side of the road. You do not bring it back.
Yeah.
Give it to somebody else who wants a dog. Like
There's lots of
like
people.
yeah,
Trust me.
sorry, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, I know.
I can't, I'm gonna get too
Oh.
passionate and too angry when I
Yeah.
talk about this. But going back to the loving side of everything,
Yeah.
you know, and I mean, if you had to, okay, so let me ask you this: if you had to get a third dog,
Mm.
what?
That's been talked about, but that's been
Yeah.
turned down by me lots of times.
What? But if you had to, like, if you, let's say, perfect
Yeah.
world, you were able to get another dog,
Yeah.
what would be your process of doing that?
Yeah. You know what? Because the first dog I got was chosen from a breeder, like just a breeder off Kijiji. So that dog was like given to me on a fluffy pillow from heaven. That's how
Aw.
she felt when we first got her, and she acts like that to this day. So the first experience was really interesting because it was like very normal, very calm. Second experience with Marshall was kind of like, well, that was messed up. So I think honestly, and especially because we did that work at that animal rescue shelter, I think either there or I know the SPCA is they're pretty decent as well. Some people have their opinions about that place, but I don't think it's as bad as it is. Um, I think either I would go through there. I think probably though the local shelter would be my first place to kind of head. And yeah, I guess it's kind of tough because some local shelters have more cats than dogs. So if I was looking for a cat, that's probably the very first place I would go. But I think for the dogs, it's just finding a place that has a bunch of dogs that are adoptable. And really I know, like, for example, one of my friends, she has a corgi. So typically when you find a corgi, yeah.
I'm gonna cry. Oh my god, I love corgis
Yeah,
so much.
I'll show you a picture of her baby corgi. She sent it to me the other day and I was crying. I was like,
They're
stop
so,
sending me these.
corgis are just so
They're
freaking
so
cute.
cute. So they're very
Sorry.
hairy though, so I could never have a corgi because they shed like cray. But
Yeah,
that's
that's
kind
true.
of like when you get a corgi, that's a specific dog that you want. Or my sister, for example, has a Scottish fold cat, so its ears go like this. Doesn't go like this; it goes like this. Really
Aww.
cute cat. It's a weird cat. But I think, like, some people want specific types of dogs because they look them up or they whatever. But I think for myself, I would just go into it kind of blind, being like, okay, for me, it's different because I'm technically allergic to dogs, but I still have them. So it's kind of hard for me because I would hope to have, like, Marshall, when we researched him, he was hypoallergenic, and so was Lily. So that was actually, I had to choose between a specific dog because
Yeah,
of the
well, that
allergy
makes sense.
factor.
And I think
So
that's totally fine. Like,
yeah, let me show you a baby corgi really quick.
oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm gonna tell my friend, I'll be like, your dog's famous. And let
Oh
me
my
show you
god.
really quick. I don't know if she sent it. He was so cute because when he was born, I've never met this dog before, by the way, but apparently when he was born, he had one ear that would, like, corgis have one floppy ear and then one straight ear when they're growing into their ears. Because when you see a real corgi, their ears are like
Giant. Yeah.
so cute.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
they're
god.
adorable. But I think, like, if I could choose the dog I wanted to have next, I've always really wanted, like, a really nasty little pug. Those, like, really gross ones that are like and they just,
Oh
like,
man.
and they snore and they fart. Like, that's the kind of pug I want. But I've also heard that you shouldn't adopt pugs because they're actually, like, the way they're breeded is very
Inhumane.
yeah, and, like,
Yeah.
just, like, the problems they face because of how they're bred
Yeah.
causes a lot of, like, breathing issues. So that's why they're snoring and grunting.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah. It's yeah, pugs are pretty cute. I can never say I'd ever wanted a pug, for those reasons specifically, because I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't want to support this breeding, because like
Mhm.
you're just like breeding them to suffer
Yeah,
basically.
it's not good.
But yes, I do agree. They can be pretty cute, especially when
Yeah,
they make that,
I know.
that sound. If I had to say, like, I'm like, I like big boys. I like itty bitty boys. Like,
Yeah.
I love them all. But I really, really love like big dogs. Like, I just
Yeah.
think that, like, because they're so cute, because they think that they're lap dogs. So like
Yeah,
golden retrievers are just like the sweetest, cuddliest things.
they're cute.
And I don't know, I just love it when like a big pound of fluff is coming towards me, and I'm like, yes, take
Ah,
me.
take me into your effing arms.
And it's great. And then like if I'm like lying down, and then it'll just like come lay on top of
Yeah.
me. I love that. So like I love big fluffy dogs that I can just cuddle. Um,
Mhm.
but in my brain as a kid, I've always wanted like a beagle. I always thought those were really, really cute.
Oh.
And I don't remember why I always wanted a beagle.
Oh,
Um, just because like I don't know, I just feel like
I gotta look up what a beagle looks like. I'm so bad with dog breeds.
it's well it's yeah, it's they can, I
Aw.
don't know, they're
Oh,
just
it's like the
they're just
hound
cute.
dog, like the ones
Yeah.
in those detective movies. You ever watch those?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
where that was from. Yeah,
That's why
that's
you
why I
wanted
wanted one. Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
For
Because yeah,
reference, this is the beagle.
yeah, I just thought
They're
I don't know, I
cute.
like their tails, and they're just like their ears are just kind of a little floppy.
They
I
look
like
like
the
grumpy
floppy
old
ears.
men. You know, they're like,
As puppies, they're very cute.
yeah.
Also, I love dogs with like big old fat paws. I think they're very cute because then I can just
Big
squish it
old
and
fat
just
paw.
oh, because
That's true.
I like
There's
to hold
nothing
their
more
hand.
satisfying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, Dexter
No.
doesn't like it. He'll be laying down like this, and then I'll like hold his hand and be like, and I'm like,
Oh.
no, let me hold your hand. Um,
My dogs are
but
pretty good at hand holding, just for future reference. If you ever want to hold their hands, they will hold your hands.
I can't wait till I can come back over there. You have no idea.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be that person
Well,
who comes over to your house. All your roommates are gonna be like, "Hi, Marissa," and I'll be like, "Hi, hello."
puppy.
They'll be like, "Oh, hi," and they'll like come to give me a hug, and I'm like, "Shoop, where's Marshall and Lily?"
More important.
It'll
It's
be
so
like one of
funny.
those beautiful scenes in a movie where it's like far longer than forever.
Yeah. And the person's running thinking it's them and it's not them. And you're like, oh.
uh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah. See, I
Um,
think for me, like, I would never, not that I don't love big dogs, it's just I don't think I could ever have a big dog because now that I'm used to little dogs, and it really depends, excuse me, on your environment.
that's true.
Because
Yeah,
obviously, if you have an apartment, it's pretty cruel to have a big dog.
100%. Yeah.
People still do it, they make it work, but it's going to be harder for you and it's going to be harder for your dog.
Hmm.
And I think, yeah, like I used to have a roommate who had a huge dog, and I watched, even though we have a huge house and a huge backyard, I watched this owner neglect this dog.
No,
And if you work like 10-hour days, you should never consider a big dog. Like small dogs,
I think
maybe
you
because
should
they can
just.
get away with it, but
I.
still cruel.
I guess, but like I also think that if you work 10 to 12 hour days,
Just
you
get a
need to
fish.
find somebody to watch the dog.
Just
Like
get a
come check
fish.
in on the dog. Just get a fish,
Yeah.
exactly. Like
Or
or
if you
get a
have,
cat
yeah. Or if you have a really supportive like parent, maybe who like loves dogs and would
or a
love to do
partner.
that for you, or
Yeah.
if you have like a retired grandparent. I know like my grandpa used to walk our neighbor's dog like every day
Hmm.
because he was just bored and lonely. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, things like
And
that can work, but that's pretty rare, you know?
yeah, the other thing too, on top of that, I wanted to add, sometimes dogs need a companion. And like if you
Mhm.
can afford it and if you are able, get another dog, like to keep your other dog company at least. So
Yeah.
like it's not
That's
just
why I
alone
have two
by
dogs.
itself for 10 hours.
Yeah.
Like I remember one time, like both me and my brother, it was like for one day, like for
Yeah.
one Saturday, we were both gone for a long time.
Hmm.
And like neither of us meant to, like we meant to come back and then we just didn't get a chance.
Yeah.
So like obviously like, Dexter, peed and pooped in the house because we're like, yep, that makes sense, that's fine.
Yeah. I'm not gonna
Um,
get mad.
and like he might have gotten into the garbage because he was getting anxious, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna get mad because we left you at home by a long
Yeah.
time. But I mean, now that we're home all the time, I don't know what he's gonna do when he go back to work. He's
know, I
like,
keep
he's
thinking
so
that.
needy right now. Like every time one of us steps out for 1 second, he's like, and we're like,
Oh my
hey,
gosh.
we're like, okay, you like, we have to like wean him when we go back
Yeah.
to work. Like he's gonna have to do crate training again because like
Yeah.
he's gonna freak out.
Gonna flip his lid. Yeah.
Yeah, like we're gone for 5 minutes and he's like, where'd you go? You were gone forever. And it's like,
You
oh
were
boy.
gone for 25 minutes.
Yeah. And but
That's
anyway, my
actually a
point
good
is,
point. Yeah.
yeah, my point is if you're getting it, like if you want to get a dog but you know you're going to be gone for a long time, if you are truly going to love that dog and you really want to give it a loving home, then you will do everything in your power to make sure that
Yeah.
it does have a loving home and it's cared for and it's comfortable, and you're not going to neglect it. You're going to walk it, you're going to clean up after it, you're going to feed it the proper food.
Yeah.
And you're not going to give it just vegetables because you are insane.
Oh god.
But anyway, so yeah, and then the other thing too is like if you're going to be gone for a long time and you want an animal that's more independent, a cat is a great option because
they're totally fine on their own.
Yeah.
And most of them are indoor cats. They don't really like to go outside. So just keep these things in mind. And I guess, to summarize, I didn't used to be totally a dog person before I had 2 dogs, which is interesting. But I think if you just take the time when you're adopting to make sure that you I think people feel like they have to make decisions very quickly in that moment, but I think that's the one moment you get to kind of be choosy and picky and slow with your decisions. So I don't think there should be a need to rush into it. If maybe you meet the dogs the first time and you're like, I don't know, think about it, come back to the groomer. If it's not there, which, I mean, that's pretty rare, but it could happen, just consider another dog.
Same thing that shelters, just go visit for a bit, take a couple times to just go take a visit and get to know them, and because you're making a commitment is what you're doing. So
or practice dog sitting picky. That's a good way to know if you want.
Yeah, definitely practice
you need
dog
a dog.
Sitting. Also, it's so much fun dog sitting.
Yeah.
I love dog sitting. It's the best.
Very low commitment for 2 weeks.
I love it. And it gives you practice. Yeah, it gives you practice. I've done it with little boys. I've done it with two big boys. They were like big old Great Danes. They were great.
Oh, that'd be scary.
So oh my God, they were so adorable. I love them so much. They would both come up to me and
scare the shiz out of me.
Like I said, I love big dogs, and they're both like at my hips. I'm like, I love you both so much.
It scares me that they can lengthen their body as tall as mine, though. That's the scary thing to me.
Or maybe they weren't Great Danes. No, I don't remember what kind of dogs they were.
Great Danes are like this tall.
Maybe they weren't Great Danes. They were big though. They were big dogs.
Big boys.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think the biggest dogs are like the sweetest boys, and they're just.
They usually are actually. They're less whiny.
I love them so much. I just now I'm just gonna be thinking about dogs for the next hour.
Next day. I know, right? Oh, well, that's kind of, to sum it up, we're out of time, guys. That's kind of our advice on if you want to get a dog or adopt a dog, how we think you can start that process. So I'm Lily Beige.
And I'm Marissa Kay. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell button to be notified when our shows come out. They come out Monday to Friday, daily, 6 a.m. on YouTube, and also on Spotify. This one will be soon coming to Spotify. And if you like it, follow. Hit a little like button. Give us a little like button. Tell us about your favorite dog.
Yes, we would love
talk about dogs.
Talk about it. You don't even know how much we would love to talk about it. All right, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.